Team Nigeria won a total of 17 gold, 10 silver and 9 bronze medals at the just concluded Africa Under-18 and Under-20 Athletics Championships in Zambia. That's quite impressive. They finished second, and I think they should now set a target of finishing first at the next edition of the championships. Hello and welcome. This is Sports Reel on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Bade Adeleye, and of course, we're at Mansa, the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. On the road today, we'll be talking about Nigeria's achievements in Zambia at the Africa Under-18 and Under-20 Athletics Championships. We will also talk about the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria, who are now in the quarterfinals of the Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations, as they will be facing Burkina Faso on Thursday. We'll talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. Now, three teams have been relegated. Can you imagine that? So we're waiting for the last team, while teams are already qualifying for the Super 6 tournament. Do not forget that we just have one more match day to go. We'll talk about the NNL, which is the most important league in the country, and bring to you, as we do on every episode of the show, the Super Falcons show. These and many more on the show today. Once again, nice to know you're there. Okay, let's begin from Algeria, where the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria are gunning for a third African title. The coach Nduka Bade boys were able to defeat South Africa 3-2 last weekend in their last group game, and that guaranteed them a place in the last 8 as they finished second in Group B. They will now be facing Burkina Faso on Thursday in the quarterfinals. And of course, one of the things many have complained about when it comes to this team is that they've been unable to take advantage of the chances they create by not scoring. And of course, in their last game, we saw them get 3 goals. And of course, Coach Bade says they've worked on their scoring problems.
Training to remind them that they've been losing a lot of goals in a match, about 20 passes. The first one of 14 to 15 chances. Then in training, we did some little corrections, and I got to know that it's purely psychological. So we tried talking to them, and at the end, it worked. We considered 2 goals, but it worked. We scored 3.
All right, we cannot wait to see the Golden Eaglets overcome their Burkina Faso counterparts on Thursday, because we need them to pick the World Cup ticket. Now, let's return to Nigeria and talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. As on March the 17th, which was last weekend, 3 teams got the confirmation of their relegation. Dakkada FC, Nasarawa United, and of course El-Kanemi Warriors, remaining just 1 team to go. So it was a tough one for so many teams, while others were celebrating, especially a team like Bendel Insurance, as they got the confirmation of their place in one of the spots for the Super 6 tournaments. Now, let's quickly bring to you some highlights and of course update you when it comes to the results we got on March the 17th and the group tables in A and B. still sports rule on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Let's take a pause now when it comes to men's football and talk women's football, as it's time for the MTN Super Falcons show. Do enjoy.
Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of the MTN Super Falcons show. My name is Oserame Inegbenebo, and as you already know, this is that show that brings you ever closer to the Super Falcons, bringing you information about our wonderful team on and off the pitch. Now, today's episode promises to be no different as we continue our countdown to the biggest FIFA Women's World Cup ever, starting from July the 20th to August the 20th. Now, it's officially 11 weeks to this tournament with 32 teams participating, and of course the Super Falcons will be representing Nigeria at this global showpiece. Now, in today's episode, we go down a memory lane as we take a look at the USA 1999 team. That is the Super Falcons' best performance at the World Cup. We take a look at these ladies. They talk to us about what inspired them to that tournament, and of course drop one or two nuggets for our Super Falcons as they go to this tournament. But first off, we go on a quick break and we will be right back.
I wish you were here.
I'm always with you.
Get ready to encounter the incredible. And remember, no be juju, na MTN 5G.
Welcome back. You are still locked on to the MTN Super Falcons show. Now, just before we went on that break, we were talking about the phenomenal performance that the Super Falcons delivered at USA 1999. Now, today on this episode, we go down memory lane and take a look at some of the highlights from USA 1999, which featured Captain Flores Omagbemi, Patience Avre, Messi Akide Udo, and Chiejene, and of course, a host of others. Let's take a look.
Nigeria had speed at every position, as Tony DeChico told us earlier in the scouting report, but the USA likes to play against teams that play open like they do. In the air over back, Fari couldn't get it. Nigeria busting in, the shot, and a goal! Okosieme!
Nigeria began an equally spectacular comeback, which started with Emiafu's 63rd minute goal. It seemed to breathe new life into the Nigerian cause. And sure enough, moments later they scored a second through Okosieme. Anything now seemed possible. And when Akide made the most of a loose ball inside the penalty area, Nigeria had clawed their way back to 3-3, forcing the game into extra time and the possibility of golden goals.
Such nostalgia. Now, I know some of you that are watching this show hadn't been born by then, but it's fine. That's what we do on the Super Falcons show. We take you down memory lane, and if you didn't already have that memory, we ingrain it there. Well, now, if you're not already following us across all social media platforms, this is the perfect time to do so. It's at MTNNG on Instagram and Twitter, and it's MTN Nigeria on Facebook and YouTube, and of course, our very own MTN Super Falcons show handle across all social media platforms. Now, as we said at the beginning of the show, this episode is all about the Super Falcons legend. Now, in this next interview, we'll take a look and we'll listen to some nuggets and, of course, how the Super Falcons were inspired for USA 1999. We'll sit down and talk with Stella Mbachu and first choice goalkeeper Anne Chejene as they tell us what inspired them and, of course, drop a few advice for our Super Falcons.
I could remember 1999 was the time we went for this World Cup. We prepared very well. Preparation matters a lot. The success of that team then was good preparation. There's nothing, no doubt about it. Good preparation was why we did very well. I must tell you, because that was my first outing. That was my first World Cup. And I was opportunity to be in the team. Then, determination. We see all of us then, see about 20, 25 players of us. We are all determined to play. Unlike now, some players do come from their different clubs from outside just for 1 week or 3 days, then they went to competition. Then, we are together. We are together. Even in our league, we see about 4 or 5 players in a club, 2, 3 players in a club, 4 players in a club. Then we are together.
I wish I can turn the club anti-clockwise. That set was one of the best sets we ever have. I pray that we will have one again like that, because that set was full of commitment, the passion we have. There's a bond together. Even after we lost against US 7-1. Came back to the hotel, we sat ourselves down, we spoke to each other. Oh, we have not come here to play, we have come here to get something out of this place. I think every team has its own drive. Every team has, I call it like a bond. We have our own bond, is that we want to make a name. By then, nobody knows anything about female football. We are the one that wanted to make name with it. And so that is why we normally, there's something we normally say, I want to speak it in pidgin, we die there. It means that we are there, we will kill ourselves for us not to get to know. Instead of all of us will die there. That's just the phrase we have. And so once we say that, we die there, everybody, even if you are one leg, you have just one leg, you want to play.
Ovieme,
Oh, I wish you were here.
I'm always with you.
But it's not the same without you.
MTN 5G's amazing technology will change how we experience life and the internet. Get ready to encounter the incredible, and remember, no be juju, na MTN 5G.
Well, you've heard from our legends what inspired them, and hopefully the Super Falcons are inspired by this message. And we are rooting for them all the way to Australia, New Zealand, the finals, wherever it ends up. Now, just before we leave you, as is customary on this show, this is the Who Am I segment. You have to tell us who is in this silhouette, and you could win yourself freebies courtesy MTN. So, who am I? You have to tell us who that player is. Drop your answers across all social media platforms at MTNNG. It is again on Instagram and Twitter, MTN Nigeria on Facebook and YouTube, and of course the MTN Super Falcons show handle across all social media platforms. That's the much we can take for today. Remember that this show airs 9 a.m. every Tuesday on NTA, and you can also catch it on MTN's Ayoba app. My name is Oserame Inegbenebo, and I will see you next week. It's bye for now.
It's still Sports Rail, not the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Now joining us live from the AFN headquarters in Abuja is no other person than the Technical Director of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Samuel Onikeko. Mr. TD, thanks for joining us on Sports Rail this Tuesday.
Thank you for having me.
Quite beautiful, and welcome back to Nigeria. You're just returning from Zambia.
Thank you so much.
All right, beautiful. Nigeria, Team Nigeria to Zambia 2023 won a total of 17 gold, 10 silver, and 9 bronze medals. That's a huge haul. Now, how were you able to do that?
Well, you know, when this board came in place, we decided that we want to focus on junior athletes so that we will not have a gap when most of the senior athletes are retiring. So we started with Kenya taking 28 athletes there, and then we went to Cali taking 24 athletes there, and then now to Undola in Zambia taking 41 athletes there. We've been taking these junior athletes, and they are different sets. From those that went to Kenya, it's just only 4 athletes that were in Kenya with us that are part of this team 30. 7 members of this team are new athletes that were discovered during our trials that was held in Kaduna, and the camping too. So we have, as a board, has continuously made sure that we prepare our junior athletes and we have junior competitions. That's why we are able to get this crop of athletes that have gone to make our country, Nigeria, proud.
Right, so quite beautiful, Mr. TD. Well done. Now, Nigeria finished 3rd just before this edition. That was in Côte d'Ivoire. And of course, now we finished 2nd. I'm sure the next target for you is for Nigeria to finish 1st, isn't it?
Yes, of course, but not only to win the competition, but we are trying to give exposure to most of these junior athletes. Now, South Africa came first with 27 gold medals, but South Africa came with 120 athletes, and we came with 41 athletes. So if Zambia is close to us like Ghana, I believe that we'll have gone with up to 100 athletes, and I believe that the results might have been different. Yes, we performed well. We took medium and long distance athletes to that place for exposure. For the first time international competitions, you see athletes that are running 800, 1,500 meters and 3,000 meters, taking them to this competition to go and run with the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. They've gotten the exposure, they've gotten understanding on how they have to step up their game, especially with training too. We took a junior thrower to there. He has gone to throw. He has seen that the technical aspect of where and how he has to improve his performance. So we, as a federation, we know that if we continue exposing our athletes, not about coming first alone. Yes, we can come first, even though we lost some gold medals narrowly. That was painful to the athletes, but maybe the venue of the next competition will determine the number of athletes we'll go for, and then maybe we'll decide that we want to come first. What we always try to do in every competition we attend is that we try to better the last performances. That's why at the World Junior in Kenya we did that. At the African Championships at Mauritius we did that. And now at the African Combined Under 18 and Under 20, we've improved from third to second. So coming first in the next edition will not be out of order.
Quite beautiful. Well done, Mr. TD. Now, we cannot but talk about this one. I would like you to let us know the competitions you're preparing for, and of course, you know, we'll keep monitoring you. So update us when it comes to that.
Yes, we are still going to have 3 competitions before our national trials, because we saw that from this under 20 that we went, some of the junior athletes are returning times that we believe that some of them will be able to qualify to join the relay teams to the World Championship coming up in Budapest in August. So in this competition, we have 5 athletes that set championship records that under 18 athletes. Somebody like Feto Kose setting championship record in 200 meters. Timas is, God bless, still set championship record. Everybody knows that. But especially we have to make mention of Samuel Ogazi, winning 3 gold medals, 400 meters, 200 meters, and the medley relay. He ran a 46.01, which is very fast for a junior athlete. About 1 month ago, his personal best was 47.20. So, but he rose up to the occasion. So we believe that he will be in the relay team to the World Championship. And then we have Edwards that jumped 7.86 for an under-20 athlete to set a championship record. These athletes are people that we believe will be able to perform well. So we are having 3 competitions that will soon reveal the venues of this competition by this week after the board meets to go through the achievements, successes, and how we need to improve ourselves for the next competition. We will let everybody know the programs and preparation towards the World Championship in Budapest.
Quite interesting, and I must say well done to you. We're looking forward to all your programs, and we must admit, since the inception of your board, we've seen immense progress when it comes to athletics in Nigeria. Well done, and thank you for coming on Sports Radio this Tuesday.
Thank you so much.
And please do extend our warm greetings to the President of the Federation.
Thank you to be here.
All right, I've been speaking with the Technical Director of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Samuel Onikeko, talking about Zambia 2023 and of course the projections when it comes to the upcoming competitions for Nigeria. Now, let's talk more sports, as men and women who have contributed in no small measure to the development of sports in Nigeria are gradually being recognized. Peter Oibo will be telling us more about that.
The awards ceremony was a gathering of notable dignitaries in and outside the world of sports. It was a time set aside to say a big thank you to some Nigerians who have shown the spirit of sportsmanship in sport development in the country. At the event, the former Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Yakubu Ibi Mohammed, and the Director General of NDLEA, Buba Marwa, were ably represented as guest speakers at the investiture ceremony.
The NTA collaborated with the LMC and transmitted matches of the Nigerian Premier League virtually for free. That was a form of sports philanthropy. Government cannot do it alone. Private individuals must come in. Private companies must come in.
Some of the recipients of the award include the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, the Governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and his wife, Bessie Obaseki, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, the President of the Nigeria Olympic Committee, Abu Gume, the President of Nigerian Volleyball Federation, Musa Niro, President of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation, Daniel Igali, and Emmanuel Iwanyawu, among others.
In the youth, sports is one of the best ways to do it. So I think that government must continue to sponsor events for the youth and they provide infrastructure for them to practice sports.
Happy because even sometimes in this country, whenever I go to some places, I say, well done for what you are doing for this country, Nigeria. But I always say that it is not me, but it is God. And I'm doing this thing for God and humanity.
I think government's role essentially is to create an enabling environment so that people in the private sector will be confident enough to invest in sports and create a business model out of sports. And that way the kids and the country benefits.
For the organizer of the event, the award signifies more commitment and wake-up call to impact the life of Nigerian youth.
They've been supporting this industry for a very long time without appreciation. So we need to appreciate them, and the appreciation is to encourage them and bring in more people to support the industry.
The awardees in appreciation pledge to do more in a bid to create more meaningful impact on teaming youths. In Abuja, Peter Oibo, NTA News.
And with that, we've come to the end of Sports Reel this Tuesday. As always, I want to thank you for being part of it. Do not forget that the Nigeria Premier Football League is very much live on NTA, with just one match day to go. And of course, for your unlimited sports content, NT Sports 24 on Star Times, StarSat and Free TV is your best option. Till next time I'll be on the show, just like I will always say, be yourself and please always stay out of trouble. I'm Bade Adeleye. I'll see you next time.